Hello there. My name is Wesley and I'm an international in Berlin. And like many of you, I'm also in isolation during this time of coronavirus. Today, I'd like to talk about the topic of gratitude. More specifically, I would like to share how being thankful is helping me to cope in the midst of the current situation. In this challenging time when we see and hear about so much pain and suffering, which we ourselves experience one way or another, it can be tempting, natural even, to focus on all the bad things happening around us. Emotions such as anger and frustration come out as we face disruptions to our plans and become unable to participate in the activities we enjoy. I have friends who haven't been to their home countries in a while who were looking forward to visiting during this time. I can understand their disappointment too. I myself had already booked a flight for July to attend my friend's wedding. Now I'm not sure if I can even travel there for Christmas. I remember that time during the end of February and the beginning of March, when the number of confirmed cases in Germany and Europe was going up steadily. I would often spend hours on social media and the internet trying to read all the news around the world. It consumed most of my free time and left me disengaged and exhausted mentally. I grew even more worried when our management announced that someone from another company in our building had tested positive for the virus, and that a couple of our colleagues in Hamburg were also being suspected of having it. Well, it turned out that they didn't, but we ended up going into home office a week later anyway, as the government began to impose restrictions on gatherings and travel. I live on my own, so my face-to-face contact with people has been reduced to almost zero. For the last 6 weeks and counting, the only opportunity I get to interact with others in person is when I go to the supermarket to buy my groceries. One of the things that is helping me to get through this time is my gratitude journal, which I began in late January. I downloaded an app which reminds me every night at 11 p.m. to list down things that I could be thankful for on that day. Often I would write down things like having a conversation with my parents, meeting with my friends, learning new things, and so on. For example, I was grateful that my company had the foresight to allow people to work remotely and that the management was constantly updating us on how we would be affected. I was and still am thankful for having the chance to reconnect with people from my home country using the technology we have today, which would not have been feasible even 20 years ago. Recalling these things allows me to appreciate what I still have and keeps me from being overwhelmed by negative thoughts. Another thing which has helped me greatly is praying together with friends. For several weeks now, I've been meeting online with a couple of friends at night for 4 times a week. We share about what we are thankful for on that day or the past couple of days, and also the worries and burdens we have. We always start by giving thanks to God before asking Him to take care of our needs and the needs of the people around us. This has helped us to reflect on the things that we often take for granted. Things such as the wonderful weather, the beauty of the trees and flowers, the sweet music of the birds. There's the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, the roof over our heads. We have seen how easily these can be taken away from us by circumstances beyond our control, so now we gain a greater appreciation for them. Thankfulness is an attitude that brings joy and peace to our souls. It teaches us to be content with what we have and to see the good in every situation. It brings us closer to people and helps us to appreciate them more. There are many benefits of being thankful. Research has shown that grateful people are happier, healthier, both physically and emotionally, and are more kind and compassionate to others. And they don't stop with us. We also know that saying thank you to people has a positive effect on them. Who doesn't enjoy being appreciated for doing a good deed? Like many other virtues, thankfulness must be cultivated. Our character will be strengthened over time only if we put in the effort to make it grow. We can start small, even just by taking a couple of minutes every day to reflect and write down one thing or person we are thankful for. Taking it another step further, we could talk with our friends and share about how our day went. I think it will surprise us how much there is to be grateful for that we never would have thought about if we didn't say it out loud. Hearing other people's reflections also encourages us and keeps us from feeling alone. Finally, we can express our thanks to God in prayer. Many things we are grateful for cannot be really attributed directly to any individual. For example, the clear blue sky, the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the wind, the breath of life, the steady beat of our hearts, the skills and talents that we have, and the mind that allows us to reason and be creative. Our families, our peers, our community, and even people we haven't met personally who have enriched our lives. These are all gifts from God. And there are many more. A well-known hymn tells it, "Count your blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done." As a Christian, if there is one thing which I believe that we should be most grateful for, it would be the gift of God Himself. It's our source of comfort for me that the Creator would be so involved in the lives of His creatures when He has no obligation to do so, that He would dwell among us as a man, be subject to the same conditions as us, and suffer on our behalf, so that we who have rebelled against Him can be reconciled to Him again. This is the reason we can learn to do as 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, that is, to give thanks in all circumstances. For we know that all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to His purpose, and that nothing can separate us from His love. I'd like to end by leaving you with a couple of questions to reflect on. The first one is, what things can you be grateful for today? And the other one, how does being thankful change the way you look at life? Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that this has been an encouragement to you. It's my prayer that we all become more thankful and appreciate all the things that we have. God bless you.